Ethics Scenarios. The following scenarios describe ethical situations you may come across as a City of Avondale employee. Think about each situation and how you respond, then see if your response matches the correct answer. Remember, not every situation can be defined in black and white terms. See how you measure against the city's shared standards.
Hi, I'm Janelle. I just learned of a request for quotations for services by the city along with some details about the solicitation within my department. My brother actually owns his own company providing the services that are needed, and he asked me to see what I could find out for him so he would be more educated when he submits his bid. I really want to give him the information. After all, I am not on the selection panel, so how could it hurt? What do you think?
Give information that is public knowledge she would share with anyone else. Dates, RFP number, etc. Let her brother know how to apply and what other vendors have applied. Tell him what a successful bid looked like in a past RFP. If you chose, give information that is public knowledge she would share with anyone else that is correct. Janelle cannot disclose any confidential information to her brother or anyone else. Because of her position, Janelle has access to confidential information, and it would be unethical for her to share this information with her brother for his and potentially her own personal gain.
I am considering a second job at a local department store to earn money for an upcoming vacation. Is this within the city's code of ethics?
Yes, I can go ahead and take the job. Yes, but I need approval from my department. No, I cannot accept a second job. Trina is probably within the code of ethics to accept a second job at a department store. However, she must first get approval from her department director before she can accept any outside employment.
My wife just lost her job, so I have had to take a second job to make ends meet until she finds new work. My second job happens to be with a local construction company. The job I hold at the construction company is as an entry-level construction worker, and I will only be working with my coworkers and my foreman and will not have any interactions at all with the City of Avondale. The construction company does, however, have a contract with the city. Is there an ethical issue with me taking this second job?
No, since I have no interaction with the city as a frontline construction worker. No, because it is only temporary until his wife gets another job. Yes, there may be a conflict of interest. Because a construction company has a contract and does business with the city, there is the potential for and the appearance of a conflict of interest. Even though Michael may not have any interaction with the city at his construction job, it still will be viewed as a conflict of interest. In this case, Michael will have to give up his construction job.
Hi there. I'm required to drive a city vehicle several times a week for my job. I've been reassigned on a temporary project for the next month that would not require me to do any driving. Over this past weekend, I found out that my license is suspended. I can get it cleared up within a few weeks and won't need to drive a city vehicle in that time period anyway. What should I do?
Disclose the situation immediately to my supervisor? Keep the information to myself? After all, I don't need to drive right now anyway. Wait until I am asked to drive a city vehicle, then report the situation to my supervisor. Although it may be tempting for Brenda to keep this information to herself, it is not the ethical choice. Even though Brenda knows she will not be driving, she understands she is expected to disclose any circumstances that may affect her ability to do her job. Remember, a critical component of ethics is transparency and trust.
My name is Ricky, and I was on my lunch break at a local restaurant with some workers. We all had our city badges on and visible since we were going back to work. When I received my bill, we each noticed a 10% discount on our bill. We did ask the server about the discount, and the server told us that the owner wants all city employees' lunches discounted as a thank you for the hard work they do in keeping the city running smoothly. What do you think is the best way for me to handle this?
Since he is not the only one receiving the discount, he can go ahead and accept it. Argue with the server to get the bill corrected. Pay the amount the bill would be without the discount. While it is true the discount has already been granted and the bill has been paid, it does not make it ethical to keep the money from the lower bill. Ricky should thank the server for the gesture and explain that he is not permitted to accept any type of discount as a City of Avondale employee. He should then ask the server to remove the discount from the bill. If the server still will not remove the discount, Ricky should simply leave payment for the entire bill for the server.
My name is Elaine, and I am a very hard worker who carefully follows the policies and rules of the city. I have been noticing that my coworker, Brian, consistently takes long breaks, spending a lot of time talking at other employees' cubicles. I want to say something to my supervisor, but I notice that he also consistently takes long lunches with the excuse, I am exempt. What do you think is the best course of action?
Stay quiet so I don't cause any problems. Report my concern to my direct supervisor. Follow the chain of command. Talk to the employee about my concerns. Remember, city employees are expected to report possible unethical behavior or concerns to their chain of command. Whenever possible, it is desirable to address a concern at the lowest level. In this case, talking to Brian directly about her observations and concerns could resolve the issue quickly. Of course, if the behavior is not resolved and Elaine still has concerns, she is expected to report those concerns to her chain of command.
I noticed $50 more on my paycheck this pay period. This is the first month of the new insurance deductions, so I just figured that it was part of that. I asked my coworkers if their checks were different too, and they all stated that there was no change on their paycheck. I decided to check into my insurance deductions, and I learned I was actually overpaid by $50 for just that one paycheck. What should I do?
Wait until the next pay period to see if the situation is reversed and you receive $50 less. Inform your supervisor and payroll of the situation. Nothing. It's such a small amount anyway. If Isaac does not say anything, he is not behaving ethically. He is not demonstrating financial responsibility and is definitely not acting as a good steward of the city's money. If he keeps the $50, he is essentially stealing money from the city. Once Isaac realized he was indeed overpaid by $50, he has a responsibility to report that to his supervisor and to payroll to get it quickly resolved. Also, keep in mind, no matter why the error occurred, the city is required by law to recover all overpayments.
My supervisor has asked me to participate on the selection committee for the current solicitation within my department because I am very knowledgeable on the topic. I consider myself to be a very fair person with a knack for making informed, unbiased decisions. As you might recall, my brother will be submitting an application for his company on the services being requested. I briefly mentioned this to my supervisor, but he told me it's okay to serve on the selection committee. I'm not sure what to do.
Go ahead and be part of the committee since my supervisor told me to. Let my supervisor know I believe this is a conflict of interest and I should not be on the committee. Report my concern to my supervisor's boss. Follow the chain of command. While it may be uncomfortable, Janelle should absolutely discuss her concerns with her supervisor. Janelle should clarify with her supervisor it would create a conflict of interest if she were to serve on a decision panel where her brother was one of the applicants. If her supervisor insists, Janelle should then go up the chain of command in order to discuss her concerns.
Hello, I'm Andy, and I absolutely love to play golf. I just received an invitation to play golf at a course I rarely have an opportunity to play at. The individual who invited me is part of a company the city does business with. Do you think I should accept the offer?
Yes, if you pay your own way. No, you should not accept the offer. Even if Andy does pay his own way, the appearance of influence or favoritism still exists. It is better to respectfully decline the offer.
Hi, I'm Patsy. I vote in every election, and I also volunteer on the school board and some other organizations. I consider myself to be very involved with my community and my government. The school board elections are coming up, and I strongly believe in one of the candidates, so much that I've placed a campaign sign in my yard. Is it ethical for me to display this sign?
Yes, because it is not at work in my office. Yes, any political sign is acceptable under the city's Code of Ethics. No, because I am a city employee. As a private citizen, Patsy has the right to display any type of political sign as long as it is not at work or on official city business. This is one of those situations where it is not a violation of the Code of Ethics. However, it may not be the wisest decision as a city employee. Again, the appearance of a conflict may arise when employees promote candidates running for offices within the community of Avondale.
Wendy is currently attending a local university to obtain her master's degree. She is a very hard worker, both in her job and in her school work. My name is Brandon, and I am working on a project with Wendy. Whenever I approach her to ask a question, I notice that many times she is working on her homework for school. When I asked her about this, Wendy told me to mind my own business. I'm not sure which is the best way to handle this. What do you think?
Discuss your concern with your supervisor. Mind your own business. It is more important to keep a good relationship with Wendy for a successful project. Leave an anonymous note on your supervisor's desk. Discussing your concerns with your supervisor is indeed the most appropriate action to ensure responsible use of city resources, both of Wendy's time and the computer. Brandon should discuss his concerns with his supervisor, but do so with specifics rather than generalities. For example, Brandon should let the supervisor know how many times over the past week, month, or project he has observed her working on homework. Brandon should inform the supervisor he has tried to discuss the situation with Wendy and what her response was.